Merry Christmas, y'all. Happy New Year's, all that good stuff.
Hey, Matt, what does today's performance, the comeback by the defense, the offense, everyone say about this team? Because it was more than just a particular game, but the weeks leading up to the season as a whole, and for the players to never see that fight go away.
We just a resilient group, man. Stuff ain't been going our way, bro. It ain't been going our way, and sometimes you have games like that, and it seems like we having a season like that. But the one thing we won't do is quit. We can control our effort, we can control our energy, and we can control our emotions. So if it's still time left on the clock, unless the opponent's taking a knee, we out there strapped up, ready to go.
And what did it do for the defense to see the offense respond the way they did, and in particular for you to see Mac, through everything you went through in the first half, the chance, whatnot, to be resilient as well?
That's what you got to do, man. It's really only people in this building, and excuse me, I know y'all love us and everything, but the people that sit in these seats in team meetings, that's all we care about. That's all we care about, man. Y'all gonna write a narrative. The fans gonna write a narrative, and everybody gonna tell their own story, right? But us, we come together in the hot days of summer camp, OTAs, and then the dog days, and we out there playing at 7 degrees today. We a family, and so when they come back like that, we expect it. We expect it, and then they expect us to get the ball back and hold the opposing offense. So we have expectancy for each other, and we hold each other to a higher standard than everybody else will.
Next question, Nick O'Malley.
Hey, Matt. First off, looking good with the coat.
Appreciate you, Nick. Thank you.
And earlier, Marcus was mentioning that with the receivers, ball security is something that you identified as something that you could potentially exploit in this game. How do you all go about identifying sort of openings like that when you think you can target something like that? And can you take us through what you saw on the play with the forced fumble on Chase?
Man, Chase is a great player, really good athlete, and he makes a lot of people miss. And he just exposed the ball. Dev told me it was a missed tackle, but you can't get one of those when you force a fumble. I just grabbed onto whatever I could grab onto, and just my momentum carried the ball out. And man, Marcus, bro, Marcus is always in the right spot at the right time, and he makes the correct plays. And I don't think you can ask more from a guy, but every week we do, and he delivers. And that's what you do, man. We put the pressure on each other, we put the expectancy on each other, and I think every week Marcus has came out and delivered.
It's kind of related to that forced fumble. I think a couple of snaps beforehand, I looked over at the bench, and you were behind the bench leading the fans, imploring them to get louder. The energy, and transferring the energy, from that spot onto the field. And as the game starts to turn, and you're starting to, force turnovers and get the offense of the Bengals off the field, how does that build on itself? And how did you guys, as a defense, seize the momentum of the pick six and build on it from there?
When we get the crowd behind us, man, we have great fans, and we have very passionate fans, and fans that seen a lot of winning. So when they get behind us, regardless of where we at, regardless of how the game's going, how it's looking, when they get loud, that affects what the quarterback can hear and what the running backs and wide receiver can hear. It affects all the checks on the line of scrimmage. So regardless if I'm in the game or out the game, we got great players out there playing, and I was just trying to do my part, just trying to be 111th and just try to create a little bit of noise.
Right on the far left.
Matthew, at 7-8, what is your assessment as to who this team is at this point? And as you mentioned, there's been obviously some challenging circumstances you guys have faced in the last couple of games.
I think you watch this team every week, and that's what we are. When we consistent, it look good. When we focus and we locked in, it look good. But when we not, it doesn't. And that's who we are. At this point, you showed your hand, And so as a team, we just got to come back and be consistent for the rest of the games we play and the rest of the time we here. But, also as a team, man, we just a band of brothers and we stand behind each other. And like I said, we expect each other to play better every game. It don't matter, how many tackles you got, how many yards you got, how many touchdowns you got. We expect more from each other, and that's how you lean on each other and become a good team.
Matthew, obviously in the first half, Joe Burrow came out sort of on fire there. I was just curious for your impressions of him as a quarterback. You guys have faced some elite quarterbacks this year.
As far as quarterbacks and toughness and reading the defense, he's up there. He's up there. You don't carry your team to a Super Bowl if you're not a good quarterback. And I believe Joe Burrow is a really good quarterback. He will be for a long time in this league. He has great wide receivers. T, Chase, and Boyd. That's a really good trio of wide receivers. And then Joe Mixon in the running game. And then that's just a good team, a football team. And you got to fight. You got to fight. Like they came out and they had a passing game going. It seemed like they was hitting all the marks. But you got to fight. In the second half, we did better. We did much better on that, and we made some plays.
Sophie Weller on the left.
Hi, Matthew. Late in the game, you appeared to head down to the locker room. I was curious what happened and how you're feeling after the game.
If you ever see me go down to the locker room, I got to use the bathroom. I'll be hydrated, and we got a bathroom like right off there. So yeah.
Alan Siegel.
Matthew, you just said something very interesting. You said when we're consistent and locked in, we're tough, suggesting that there are times the team is not consistent or locked in. Why is that?
I think user error, right? We all humans. We all be having something on our mind. We all be thinking something. And I think just we all humans. If we was robots, we would come out and do it perfect every time. And that's why we play the game. And that's why so many emotions involved in this game. That's why you see turns like it did in the second half, because we all human.
Final question. Czar.
What's up, Matthew? I just wanted to ask you, we've talked a lot about you finishing the season strong, and finishing the season differently than last year. And today you had the sack and the strip sack, forced fumble, excuse me. Just how does it feel for you to go out there and be able to put a game like that out there, knowing that that's sort of a narrative?
I think when you're in the position I am in, teammates look for you to make plays, and coaches look for you to make plays. And you've been making plays all year. You got to continue to be that person. And I try to come in here and be as consistent as a person, as a player, as a teammate, as a friend as possible, day in and day out. And I think I think with that I can make plays. But I think going throughout the season and stuff, I get different blocks and I get different looks and I get to slide and all that, and just going out there getting sacks and hitting the quarterback. It's what I need to do. But a play like making a Chase fumble is something that changed the game. And it ended how it ended. But those are game-changing plays in the fourth quarter when you're down 4. I appreciate y'all, man. Happy Christmas, Merry New Year.